I saw you earlier this year learning CPR. I haven't learned it for maybe 15 years. It is time. This is my goal this year to learn it. And maybe I didn't know my kids could learn too.
Yeah, I actually did a Cadlick CPR course many years ago when I was learning for like babysitting lessons and stuff. So it's definitely an option for local teens in the area.
Yeah.
And I definitely enjoyed my CPR lesson with the Pasco Fire Department.
And we just learned, you might have been one of the few teens in the room who knows CPR. So we got to keep the education going.
Exactly.
Good advice. And also great advice this morning. Bundle up. It is cold out there. Our temperature readings are only in the teens this morning and single digits in some areas. Wind chills even colder than this. We'll talk about how long the cold sticks around and what you can expect for the rest of the week coming up in just 30 seconds.
Plus, SWAT responded to a Kennewick shooting early yesterday morning. What happened for Kennewick police to send in SWAT? And how do police decide when to call in reinforcements? We get an inside look. How authorities figure out the proper response. Don't go anywhere. Good Morning Northwest continues right now.
From Camp KVUE Local News, this is Good Morning Northwest.
Well, good morning and thanks for joining us. I'm Riley Fitzgerald in for Jill Sperling.
I'm Brianna Berman Solo. It is 6 o'clock on the dot on this Thursday morning. And Riley, we are so happy to have you here up bright and early, dark and early to get us ready for the day. We have your weather story, your news headlines. How was the drive-in this morning?
It was very quiet, almost nobody on the roads at the time that I was coming in here.
Well, yes, and it was dark 30 at that hour. The quiet part of what you just told me, though, that's what I really want to focus on today. It is quiet compared to yesterday. So taking a look right now at, again, our temperature map. I'll bring this up a few times during the hour so you can see that it is not only colder than normal for this time of year, but colder than many of the mornings we've felt so far this February, as it's been very mild temperature-wise so far this month. Now we're getting a last blast of those winter temperatures, and a few flurries may continue to fall this morning. So teens, single digits, cold outside by this evening. 6 o'clock right now, looking ahead to 6 o'clock this evening, 12 hours from now, we'll see accumulations anywhere from about 1/10 of an inch up to 1/2 an inch in Pendleton. Most of any snow activity will be right along the foothills of the Blues today, up over the Blues and through central Oregon, but we could see some snow accumulating over Yakima Valley as well, right along the eastern slopes of the Cascades. Make sure you have a warm jacket. Even if you don't see snowfall today, it feels cold out there. Hats, gloves, you'll need them all. And we see that flurry activity wrap up by this evening. Cloudy and cold today, sunshine returning tomorrow. I'll have your weekend forecast coming up on this Thursday. First, Riley, I'll send it back over to you.
Thank you, Brianna. No one was hurt in an early Wednesday morning shooting that brought several law enforcement agencies, including the SWAT team, to a Kennewick home. Authorities were called to North Underwood Street, right next to the Zintel Creek Golf Clubhouse, just after 6 a.m. Police say someone called to say their friend had a gun and had fired it, but everyone was out of the home safely. Emergency responders from Kennewick, Benton County, Richland, Pasco, Franklin County, and the regional SWAT team also set up at the scene. The roads around the home were blocked for a few hours until the man was arrested.
Yeah, that was because of the fact that we activated the Tri-City Regional SWAT team. So anytime we do a full team activation, we get commanders from each of the representative police agencies, and then the members of the SWAT team themselves also come from those different agencies.
The man was booked on unlawful discharge of a weapon and unlawful possession of a weapon. And an apparent swatting prank led to at least 2 Hermiston, Oregon schools being placed on lockdown. It happened around noon on Tuesday. A shots fired phone call sent authorities to Hermiston High School and sent the school into lockdown, and also locked down West Park Elementary close by. According to Kennewick police, who responded to their own coordinated active shooter hoax at Southridge High School several months ago, there have been online viral trends like this that have brought students and other people serious consequences.
That happened at numerous locations throughout the country. I wish I knew why people did things they did. Last school year, the trend was that kids were destroying the bathrooms at their public high schools. And why stuff like that goes viral, I just don't understand why people think, hey, this is a good idea, this will be funny.
Those were cases of swatting, which is a prank phone call meant to summon a large law enforcement response. In December, schools around Montana and Washington State, including Southridge High School, experiencing swatting calls, and several schools received swatting calls Tuesday, according to authorities. So how does law enforcement decide when to bring in reinforcement? This differs from a situation that happened on Tuesday in Pasco with similar circumstances that saw much fewer officers responding. Two Tri-City shootings happened within 24 hours of each other, and yet they saw different police responses. In Pasco, in a situation where a man shot someone, sending them to the hospital in serious condition, Pasco police and medical responded.
So even though the nature of the call, obviously there's a weapon involved and an individual sustaining the injury, the reason that Pasco decided not to initiate a SWAT call out was because of the cooperation of the individuals involved.
Police say the shooter in question was cooperative and was actually the person who made the initial 911 call. That was not the case in another shooting in Kennewick, where police say the suspect was not cooperative at first.
We also activated our Tri-City Regional SWAT team just due to the nature of the fact that he was an armed person. He had already shot a gun off, and we had some safety concerns.
What we know right now is that in Kennewick, a man was arrested after a large police and SWAT response for unlawful discharge of a firearm and unlawful possession of a firearm.
But that's why we call it the SWAT team, is when we have events that we believe are going to be dangerous and we need those extra tools.
Had the man in Pasco not been cooperative, according to Sergeant Thomas Groom with the Pasco Police Department, there might have been a bigger police response.
But if we are dealing with individuals, suspects who are not compliant, who are not following commands, who are armed, that's going to necessitate a higher presence of law enforcement and may necessitate certain assets like the SWAT team.
The Pasco man was not arrested, but the shooting is still under investigation. Reporting for Cap KVU Local News, I'm Riley Fitzgerald. Police say neither of these appear to be random shootings. And in Yakima, the rate of domestic violence incidents is almost twice the state average, and it's only gotten worse since the pandemic hit. The Yakima YWCA has been struggling to keep up with the demand for services, but Cap KVU's Emily Goodell tells us a new investment from the city of Yakima is helping them take a big step forward.
Not a day goes by in the city of Yakima without someone being verbally or physically abused by an intimate partner.
Domestic violence is a very significant issue that we have in our city.
A map of 911 calls made to Yakima police in recent years shows it touches everywhere. The Yakima YWCA does the best they can to get victims a safe place to stay, but there's just not enough shelter beds to keep up with the demand.
The YWCA continues to serve over 14,000 people every year, and typically there's at least 400 plus families that are needing emergency shelter, and in the heat of their crisis, we're full.
But thanks to a new investment from the Yakima City Council,
$2 million of coronavirus state and local fiscal recovery funds,
the YWCA is one step closer to breaking ground on another emergency domestic violence shelter.
Through the generosity of Hogback Development, they are donating the St. Elizabeth Nursing School building, which is really what makes this possible. It will add 100 more plus beds for women and children and men that are experiencing domestic violence in our community.
Kilty says the city is the first to confirm their funding contribution to the estimated $19.3 million project, but they're hoping county, state, and federal funding will come through on time to break ground this fall and open the shelter in fall 2024.
This is going to go a long way, I think, to protect lives.
But in the meantime, victims still need help with basic needs. That's why the Harmon Senior Center is holding a donation drive for the YWCA.
Pajamas donated, paper towels, one that a lot of people don't even think of as feminine products. These simple needs, like when you don't have them, it adds up a lot when you have to go to the store. Like if you did leave out of a bad situation and you had to start all over again, that's a lot to purchase.
But not a lot for other people who can afford to give a little.
Being kind to your community and giving back is always something that's going to make your heart happy.
In Yakima, Emily Goodell, Cap KVU Local News.
The Harmon Center donation drive will be going on through the end of March. For more ways on the YWCA and more ways to help, head to yaktrinews.com. Chief Meteorologist Brianna Berman-Solo returns now with a look at your morning weather forecast.
It is dry and cold. We're taking a look at the Yakima camera from the Legend Skycam network, and you're seeing this camera in particular showing you light winds. That's going to make it feel even colder than it is outside. Bundle up. We'll talk about when to expect that sunshine return in your weekend forecast coming up.
Plus, a possible workplace revolution could be in store as the largest trial of the 4-day work week ends with fascinating results. We'll be right back.
People today, they could spend half their lives over 50, but it's gonna take some planning.
What can you do for me?
Make sure your money lives as long as you do. The younger you are, the more you need AARP. Join today.
Adventure awaits at Silver Mountain Resort this winter. Enjoy some of the best terrain in the region, only 30 minutes east of Coeur d'Alene, right off I-90. Family, friends, and smiles as big as the wide-open vistas. Relax in a beautiful condo just a stroll away from dining, water slides, indoor surfing, and 84 degrees. And a gondola ride away from our new covered carpet lift, tubing, and acres of snow rider heaven. Your winter adventure awaits at Silver Mountain. Book today at silvermt.com.
Time for a new roof? Let Eminent Roofing replace it with a product so good you'll never have to replace it again. Our roofs come with the limited lifetime warranty. Never replace your roof again. And with the rain, snow, and wind comes roof damage. Don't wait till it's an emergency. Get your free roof assessment today. So if it's time for a new roof or siding, let Eminent Roofing replace it with our certified installers.
Because when it's all said and done, this is the sign you'll want in your yard.
Granting a wish is a powerful thing. My relationship with Make-A-Wish began 14 years ago. We put on a small car show here at the dealership. We generated $4,600, and 14 years later, we cumulatively now have a total of $1.14 million we've done for the Make-A-Wish Foundation. I'm lucky to have a position that affords me the opportunity to work with some fantastic people throughout Eastern Washington. They understand our motivation to support the community, and they truly want to support the community. Granting a wish is a powerful thing. You see the laughter, you see the smile. Being a part of that, you can't walk away from that. You want to help another child, and that's been my motivation for years. When a lot of people come together, to me, that's community, and that's home.
Find your next Mazda at McCurley Mazda and get 2.9% financing on a new 2023 Mazda CX-5, CX-30, and CX-50.
Your roof protects your home and family every day. Shouldn't it be the best roof possible? With Air Roofing, a family-owned business in Prosser, you'll see why our customer reviews speak for themselves. No job too small, big enough to take care of your roofing needs. Air Roofing, a company built on quality and reputation.
Portion of Cap KVU sponsored by Lord's Health and Trios Health, making communities healthier.
Is it time for America to adopt a 4-day work week? The results from a UK pilot program are in, adding to the growing body of evidence revealing that a shortened work week could be life-changing for employees and beneficial for companies as well. Chris Wynn explains why researchers are calling their study a success.
There's a revolution happening in the workplace.
Why are we still working 5 days a week? And why aren't we working on our lives?
This week, the nonprofit advocacy group 4-Day Week Global released the results of a 6-month pilot involving around 2,900 workers in the UK, where 61 companies agreed to let their employees work 4 days a week without a reduction in pay.
All around the world, across many industries, we're finding that this model can work.
According to the data, on average, employees reported higher job satisfaction, lower rates of burnout, and less work-related stress. The results also showed most of the companies involved reported no drop in productivity, with 92% keeping the 4-day schedule beyond the trial. Despite this, some human resource experts believe getting more American companies on board could be tough because of competition and the fear of falling behind.
Companies, employees, they want to win, and it is important for them to keep inching their targets higher and higher.
But some psychologists say employee burnout is cause for concern, with more people now prioritizing their mental and physical health, especially post-pandemic.
It's a step in the right direction to find a way to have a more sustainable life and a life that's more worth living.
A potentially game-changing shift in culture and mindset, as some aim to challenge the status quo.
This is about how we as people are looking to work in the future.
In Washington, I'm Chris Wynn reporting.
Well, companies can no longer pay off former employees in exchange for their silence. This week, the National Labor Relations Board put employers on notice that they can no longer silence laid-off employees in two very specific ways. Employers can no longer include a broadly written confidentiality clause that requires you to keep mum about the terms of your severance agreement, and they can no longer include a broadly written non-disparagement clause that prohibits you from discussing the terms and conditions of your employment with third parties. The board says that both of these moves violate employees' rights under the National Labor Relations Act. The ruling is a reversal of what the Trump-era NLRB members had decided on in a prior case that were lawful restrictions on employees as a condition of receiving severance. While the Labor Board's ruling this week could be appealed, the ruling is effective immediately. That means employers must review and, if necessary, revise their severance agreements to ensure they don't include overly broad language that would restrict workers' rights in the two ways the board ruling indicates. And coming up, major storms are being felt across the country, some regions experiencing record temperatures on both sides of the thermometer. And Chief Meteorologist Brianna Berman-Solo will return with a look at your first alert forecast. We'll be right back.
Where will your new Chevy take you this year? Anywhere. Find new experiences, find new roads. Get 2.99% financing for 5 years on all 2022 Silverado 1500 pickups, or get $2,250 total cash allowance on this Silverado with a 2.7-liter engine. Plus, current competitive owners get an additional $750 cash allowance.
Does your property look like this? With 24/7 emergency service, First Choice Restoration will be on site for any disaster within the hour. They have the expert support you can trust. Never the call you want to make, always the first choice you should take. First Choice Restoration. We'll be there when you need us.
Welcome to the Village Bistro. We're happy you're here. I wanted to share with you some of the things we have on our menu. One of my favorite things is our lemon ricotta pancakes, topped with blueberries and powdered sugar and butter, and oh my, they are so delicious. You gotta try our 4-cheese mac and cheese or burgers. Some say they're the best in town. We love to get to know each customer that comes in, and we want you to feel like family when you're with us.
Where's the most mouth-watering pizza and best salad bar in town? Well, Hubby's Pizza, of course. Order Hubby's Pizza tonight and get a large 16-inch pepperoni pizza for just $15.99. Mouth-watering yumminess. The perfect fresh dough and toppings for a quick and easy dinner. Dine in or carry out. Come acquire the Hubby's Habit, your hometown favorite for nearly 45 years.
Water damage comes from anywhere. With 24/7 emergency service, First Choice Restoration will be on site for any disaster within the hour. With the best restoration experts for water damage, you can trust us as your premier restoration partner. Never the call you want to make, always the first choice you should take. First Choice Restoration.
February is Heart Health Awareness Month. Stay fit by choosing healthy foods and drinks, watch your weight, and exercise. More information at yaktrynews.com.
The Prosser Heart Center at Prosser Memorial Health offers a full spectrum of cardiology services, now accepting new patients. This is how we care.
Next live, Whitney Cummings.
The wide shoulder look, it's quite slimming.
And coming March 13th, Live returns to the Oscar stage for Live's After Oscar show.
Today at 9 on Cap KView. Awesome views at an awesome place. Cap KView Local News at 6, Tuesday. Now, Cap KView First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Brianna Berman-Solo.
The snow that made a big comeback this week, winter made a comeback this week, comes to an end today. But it is still very cold. It feels like winter with an Arctic blast coming in from the north, bringing below freezing temperatures for the afternoon hours. We don't get up above 30 degrees in most valley locations of Yakima, the Yakima Valley, Tri-Cities, Walla Walla, Pendleton, all starting off in the single digits and teens, and then close to 30 degrees, but not even getting there today. Much colder than normal. So bundle up, mostly cloudy skies. We'll see a few sun sun breaks this afternoon before sunshine returns tomorrow, and we'll start to warm up looking ahead to the weekend. Right now, though, today and tomorrow, much colder than normal and much colder than what we've experienced lately. So you'll feel that wind chill as you head out the door. Right now, it's 18 degrees in the Tri-Cities, but if you factor in a light wind, it feels more like 10 or 12 degrees right now. Single digits in Cle Elum, feeling closer to 0. And in Prosser, 17 degrees, Pendleton 17 degrees right now, and Walla Walla, Dayton, again, with the wind chill, if we were factoring that in, feels like temperatures even colder than the teens and single digits you're seeing on the map right now. Futurecast showing spotty snow across the entire region east of the Cascades. The Cascades were slammed with 2 feet or more of snow over the past 2 days. That will be a much drier picture there, but if you look to the blues today, advancing that clock to 1 and then right for the evening drive, 1 o'clock this afternoon until 5 p.m. Snow becomes more likely over I-84, over the blues, Pendleton, Walla Walla. We'll see anywhere from a ½ an inch to an inch of snow mostly this afternoon. Tri-Cities, Hanford, Prosser, and Yakima, mostly cloudy but mostly dry with a few sun breaks before sundown, and then you'll notice a much drier and clearer picture by the time we hit the weekend forecast. Today for your Thursday, highs again only in the teens and 20s. I want to make sure you know that it will be a day where you need gloves if you're outside all day long, not just the morning hours. 23 degrees in Yakima, 28 degrees. You'll need warm hats as well in the Tri-Cities, 21 degrees in Moses Lake, 28 degrees in Walla Walla. Looking ahead to your 7-day forecast, today is the coldest day of the next 7, and as we look overnight, it's still going to be very frosty Friday, Saturday mornings. Then we're close to 50 degrees by Sunday, 40s and 50s early next week as spring-like temperatures make a comeback. Feeling like winter today in Yakima, spring starts to arrive and return by the end of the weekend, and we'll see 40s turning to close to 50 degrees through the middle of next week. Riley, I will send it back over to you.
Thank you, Brianna. Now to the massive winter storm that's now turned deadly. A large swath of the country is facing extreme weather right now. Roads and airports at a standstill with feet of snow expected in some areas. Overnight, more than 600,000 power outages were reported in Michigan alone due to an icy storm, now blamed for the death of a firefighter. And in the south, temperatures topping 90 degrees. ABC's Jacqueline Lee has the latest.
This morning, several airport hubs are reporting more flight cancellations and delays as a massive winter storm creates treacherous travel conditions from coast to coast.
All of a sudden I heard a big boom and a big red fire came up.
Authorities in Arkansas saying 5 people were killed in a small plane crash in Little Rock. The cause under investigation, but wind gusts were reportedly 40 miles per hour at the time. It comes as 135 million Americans in more than 40 states are on alert for high wind, snow, and ice. In Michigan, a volunteer firefighter was killed when a power line fell on him after ice snapped a tree branch. Power outages reported overnight in California, Illinois, and Wisconsin, and many more outages are expected. In Los Angeles County, a rare blizzard warning: up to 7 feet of snow could fall in higher elevations. The storm brought these intense conditions to northern Arizona, and this newly released video from the Wyoming Highway Patrol shows an out-of-control semi nearly slamming into that first responder. Meanwhile, in the southeast, record heat could stick around for days. It could be 40 degrees warmer than usual in some areas. Baltimore could see temperatures in the 80s, potentially breaking a record set in the 1800s.
Look at that. Temperatures looking like May out there. And yes, it is February.
And while areas like McAllen, Texas hit 95 degrees Wednesday, the Dakotas were below 0, a 100-degree temperature difference in the continental U.S. Experts say climate change is most apparent in winter months in both high and low temperature readings.
Areas as far north as New Jersey could see record high temperatures today. And when we return on Good Morning Northwest, this year's flu season hit harder than usual, having a particularly large impact on children. We'll be right back.
This is Ford Truck Month, America. Time to get up and get into Ford F-150, part of F-Series, America's best-selling trucks for 46 years straight. All amped up and ready for work or play. Plus, there's a great selection in stock and ready for delivery today. So get into Ford Truck Month and see what a built Ford Tough truck can do for you. Get 0 for 36 plus 3,000 low APR cash on a 2022 F-150 XLT, only at your local Ford dealer.
Get a great deal and the best prices of the year now at Overturf Kia. You'll find a great selection of new vehicles in stock now. A 2023 Kia Soul LX with automatic transmission starts at just $21,220. Plus, get interest rates as low as 2.9%. Take delivery today or reserve a car that is on its way. Shop online anytime at overturfkia.com. Overturf Kia at the base of the Blue Bridge in Kennewick.
Us. This isn't us. Is it? When did we get so connected to our devices and so disconnected from each other? And when our phones have turned us into this? LT, what do you do when you're a company that sells them?
We gotta fix this.
It's time to find what we're missing. Join us in taking a break from our devices. Take the phones down for 5 challenge for 5 days, 5 hours, or even just 5 minutes.
Feels good.
And let's find us again. U.S. Cellular, built for us.
At Bruce Heating and Air, your comfort is our business. With over 30 years of professional HVAC experience for residential and commercial properties, you can rest assured your heating and air system is in good hands. In addition to providing quality heating, air conditioning, ventilation, and installation services, Bruce Heating and Air also houses a full-service sheet metal fabrication shop.
Now through March 31st, receive rebates up to $2,100 off on a new Daikin Fit system and thermostat when you finance through Bruce Heating and Air.
Click-It RV Tri-City Superstore has gone mad with huge discounts on a huge selection of top brand RVs, which means the lowest prices, factory incentives, and rebates.
You guys gotta beat the spring rush and get in here now.
Shop online and find the floor plan you like, then build it, price it, and click it. Or come to the Pasco Autoplex. From travel trailers to fifth wheels, toy haulers to motorhomes, the huge indoor-outdoor RV show is here. Get a better RV and the lowest price guarantee. Only at Click-It RV Tri-Cities or ClickItRV.com.
Be a winner like me and get to Click-It RV.
I didn't sleep last night.
Live with Kelly and Ryan, today at 9 on Cap KView.
A live look right now. This is from Mount Spokane, and you can see a beautiful start to the day, although it is a very cold start to the day, blowing snow. You see that as well. Our mountains received anywhere from a foot to 2 feet of snow across Washington and Oregon, so plan on that if you do plan to travel, but we should be dry in Seattle tomorrow, Saturday, and rain returns to the Emerald City, but warming up on Sunday. 40s for your highs to finish the weekend. In Portland, very similar conditions. Sunshine tomorrow, 40s through the weekend, and it looks like a chance of snow by Sunday in Spokane. Warming up after very cold conditions today and tomorrow. Riley?
Thanks, Brianna. According to newly released data from the CDC, this year's flu season peaked early and hit children especially hard. The agency says reported cases of influenza were highest in late November and early December. Flu-related pediatric deaths more than doubled over the previous year, the highest number since the beginning of the pandemic. It's unclear if those kids had pre-existing conditions, but most weren't vaccinated against the flu. The CDC says flu vaccine reduced the severity of illness for up to 44% of adults who got the flu. Its effectiveness was higher among young children. Many Americans are not comfortable with artificial intelligence when it comes to healthcare. According to a new survey by the Pew Research Center, it found 60% of Americans wouldn't be comfortable with a healthcare provider relying on AI to diagnose their disease or recommend treatment. About 6 in 10 Americans also said they wouldn't want AI-driven robots performing parts of their surgery, and almost 8 in 10 said they wouldn't want AI involved in their mental health care. But they're not totally anti-AI when it comes to healthcare. 65% of survey respondents think using AI to detect skin cancer could improve accuracy of a diagnosis, and some survey respondents said they thought AI could reduce racial bias in healthcare. Coming up next, a violent shooting spree in Orlando results in the death of 3 people, one of them the reporter covering an earlier shooting. That's coming up next.
Now is the time for a new bath from Bathfitter. Every Bathfitter bath is installed quickly, safely, and beautifully with a lifetime warranty. Go from old to new, from worn to wow. The beautiful bath you've always wanted, done right. Installed by one expert technician, all in one day. We've been creating moments like these for 35 years, and we're here to help you get started. Book your free virtual or in-home design consultation today.
The winter sun. It's a ticking clock.
where shorter days mean a precious countdown has begun. So chase the sun and seize the season, because when the days are at their shortest, it's on us to make them the fullest.
Get 3.19% APR for 36 months on most 2023 Cadillac models. Visit your Yakima and Tri-Cities Cadillac dealer today.
Everybody in the Tri-Cities has been to a Hubby's Pizza Party, right? You haven't? Acquire the Hubby's habit and book your party today. Delicious, mouth-watering food made with only the freshest ingredients. It's party time at Hubby's Pizza, a hometown favorite for nearly 45 years. Book your party today.
Time for a new roof? Let Eminent Roofing replace it with a product so good you'll never have to replace it again. All roofs come with a limited lifetime warranty. Never replace your roof again. And with the rain, snow, and wind comes roof damage. Don't wait till it's an emergency. Get your free roof assessment today. So if it's time for a new roof or siding, let Eminent Roofing replace it with our certified installers.
Because when it's all said and done, this is the sign you'll want in your yard.
This Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, Walker's Furniture is ending the shortest month of the year with the biggest discounts of the year. For 28 hours only, get the biggest store-wide discounts up to 70% off. Plus, leave your credit cards at home and take advantage of no money down, no minimum purchase special financing for 5 years. So you can get that new living room or bedroom furniture you've always wanted and pay for it over time with no money down during the 28-hour sale this weekend at Walker's.
Honey, are you throwing the throw pillows?
Relaxing to watch TV can be hard.
Remember how they stack.
Okay. Actually, watching TV?
HBO app.
It's easy with Dish.
Honey, are you on the boudoir cushion?
What's a boudoir cushion?
Live TV and streaming apps together with Dish. Tuned in to you.
E.T. followed by Extra tonight at 7 on Cap KView.
A Florida news reporter was killed while covering a violent shooting spree. 2 others are also dead, while another 2 remain in critical condition. And the cleanup continues in East Palestine, Ohio, as the EPA intends to hold Norfolk responsible for the contamination.
And Burr, it is cold out there. You'll need a jacket. You'll need a hat and gloves if you plan to work outside throughout the day. Our temperatures remain below freezing. We'll have your first alert weather forecast on this Thursday right now.
From Cap KView Local News, this is Good Morning Northwest.
Well, good morning and thank you so much for joining us. I'm Riley Fitzgerald in for Jill Sperling.
And I'm Brianna Berman Solo. It is 6:31. Happy Thursday, and happy Thursday to you, Riley.
Thank you so much.
You can join us all the time. You have been so fun here on the morning show.
I've received a very warm welcome on this very cold Thursday.
Bundle up as we brought you inside at midnight or whatever time you woke up at. It is cold outside, so if you plan to work outside early this morning or travel to work like we did, we can tell you now that you need an extra layer this morning. It is much colder than the temperatures we've felt over the winter season so far, or at least 2023 winter so far. February has been so mild as far as temperatures go, and now we're seeing cold conditions take place. Now I bring up the radar to show you that if you pull up your YakTriNews.com mobile app, or if you're on the website, you may see something similar to this, where you see a wide blanket of snow on the radar. But a lot of this is not hitting the ground. It's either being picked up as icicles in the atmosphere, or you may see some of this falling ever so lightly over Pendleton up to Walla Walla. But sometimes, again, the radar indicates snow that isn't here or is not hitting the ground. This is what we're seeing right now. Any leftover snow from yesterday will continue to form ice out on our roads, our sidewalks, and on your driveways, so make sure to watch for that. We may see a few more flurries during the 8 o'clock hour, especially the farther south you go across the mid-Columbia. Then this afternoon, mostly cloudy, mostly dry, and very cold. We'll talk about when those temperatures warm up, when the sunshine returns, and what to look for this weekend. But first, Riley, I'll send it back over to you.
Thank you so much, Brianna. Gun violence erupts in Central Florida Wednesday. Police say 5 people were shot, 3 of them died and the others are reportedly in critical condition. Among those who were killed, a child and a television news reporter. John Lawrence reports.
Authorities in Orange County, Florida, arrested and charged a man in connection with a fatal shooting spree Wednesday.
He is 19-year-old Keith Melvin Moses.
The Orange County Sheriff's Office says at 11:17 a.m. local time, deputies responded to an incident where a woman in her 20s was shot and killed, allegedly by Moses.
Detectives had already done their canvass of the neighborhood and had cleared the scene, and were out actually following leads on this suspect Moses, because they quickly developed him as a suspect in this case.
Nearly 5 hours later, authorities say Moses fired at an Orlando news crew reporting on the earlier shooting incident. One of the victims, a television reporter from Spectrum News 13, died.
The suspect is not saying much right now. It is unclear if he knew they were news media or not. We're still trying to work all of that out.
The Orange County Sheriff's Department says Moses then entered another house and shot a woman and her 9-year-old daughter. The daughter died, and the mother is in critical condition as of Wednesday night.
No one in our community, not a mother, not a 9-year-old, and certainly not news professionals, should become the victim of gun violence in our community.
Charter Communications, the parent company of Spectrum News, released a statement saying they are deeply saddened by the loss of our colleague and the other lives senselessly taken. I'm John Lawrence reporting.
So far, there's no word on a possible motive for the shootings. The Sheriff's Department also says the suspect has a, quote, lengthy criminal history. Right now, you're looking at a photo of the Chinese spy balloon as it appeared from the cockpit of a U-2 spy plane. An Air Force pilot snapped the picture as the balloon crossed into the U.S. It was originally spotted on January 28th and shot down a week later off the coast of South Carolina. The State Department said the high-altitude balloon was capable of conducting surveillance, and the State Department of Defense officially released this photo of it. And a massive cleanup effort continues in the wake of the Norfolk Southern derailment in Ohio nearly 3 weeks ago. The Biden administration is promising to make Norfolk Southern fully pay for all of the cleanup, and CNN's Miguel Marquez reports the grueling cleanup is far from finished.
A massive effort underway to clean up creeks and water flowing in and around East Palestine, Ohio.
It is decimating our businesses.
It's dirty, difficult, and slow-going work. For those living here, building trust that the water and air is safe, as slow-going is the cleanup itself.
It took, I think, Norfolk Southern 3 days, 4 days, for us to get a partial list. Vinyl chloride, butyl acrylate, and benzene residue, and combustible liquids. What the hell are combustible liquids? You know, it could be anything.
The makings of this disaster appears to have started somewhere between Alliance, Ohio, and the derailment in East Palestine. Surveillance video of the train in Alliance shows no signs of sparks coming from its wheels. There is a detector in Sebring, Ohio, that would indicate overheat, a so-called hot box detector. It's unclear if it detected any overheat, but in Salem, Ohio, just 13 miles further along, surveillance video clearly shows sparks and bright lights coming from under a rail car at about the halfway point of the train. There is another hot box detector just down the track from where the surveillance video was taken, but it's not clear if it detected an overheat either. If it did, both the conductor and dispatcher would have been alerted to a heating issue. The NTSB said shortly before the derailment, a wayside defect detector alerted the crew to a mechanical issue. CNN estimates, based on the timestamps of the surveillance videos and distances between towns the train would have been traveling, an average of 49 miles per hour between Alliance and Salem, Ohio, then slowed to an average of 29 miles per hour between Salem and East Palestine. Still not clear why it slowed. The derailment occurred around 8:55 p.m., shortly after the train passed Market Street in downtown East Palestine. The EPA now ordering Norfolk Southern to pay for and clean up the entire disaster zone.
They have to put together a work plan that's going to be very prescriptive in terms of all of the cleanup, how they will do it, and the radius of that cleanup. They also have to explain to us, how they'll pay for it.
All of this as former President Trump visits East Palestine, an area of Ohio where he still enjoys enormous support.
The NTSB will release its preliminary report on the derailment on Thursday. And Chief Meteorologist Brianna Berman-Solo returns now with a look at your morning weather forecast.
Well, technically the sun's coming out. We don't see a whole lot of it right now, Riley, as the wind is blowing right through the Yakima Valley. It's a cold and cloudy start. We'll talk about what to expect for the weekend ahead, as temperatures should warm up again soon, just not today.
Plus, you remember Cody? Well, he's looking for his forever home, but first he's got to find a shelter. We'll have more when we come back.
This newscast sponsored by the Working Family Tax Credit.
Does your property look like this? With 24/7 emergency service, First Choice Restoration will be on site for any disaster within the hour. They have the expert support you can trust. Never the call you want to make, always the first choice you should take. First Choice Restoration. We'll be there when you need us.
In America, the future belongs to everyone. So we built the SUV of the future for everyone. Ford Escape. Thanks to Bliss with Cross Traffic Alert, it's built to help give you confidence on the road. Because this IIHS top safety pick is built for America. Ford Escape. Drive one today. Get 0% for 36 months plus 1,000 low APR cash on an in-stock 2022 Escape only at your local Ford dealer.
Click It RV Tri-City Superstore has gone mad with huge discounts on a huge selection of top brand RVs, which means the lowest prices, factory incentives, and rebates.
You guys gotta beat the spring rush and get in here now.
Shop online and find the floor plan you like, then build it, price it, and click it. Or come to the Pasco Autoplex. From travel trailers to fifth wheels, toy haulers to motorhomes, the huge indoor-outdoor RV show is here. Get a better RV and the lowest price guarantee. Only at Click It RV Tri-Cities or ClickItRV.com.
Be a winner like me and get the Click It RV.
Toyota trains certified technicians. Is that important?
Well, you wouldn't hire just anyone to help you move, would you?
This shortcut saves 2 hours easy, clean,
dude! No. Of course not.
Not again.
Toyota Service Centers. Keep your Toyota a Toyota.
Prosser Women's Health Center OBGYN Dr. Heidi Weaver provides the full spectrum of obstetrics and gynecological care, including pregnancy care and help for menstrual disorders and endometriosis. Her services also include infertility treatments. If you struggle to conceive, there is hope. Schedule an appointment today with Dr. Heidi Weaver at the Prosser Women's Health Center by calling 509-786-0031 or learn more at prosserhealth.org. This is how we care.
Water damage comes from anywhere. With 24/7 emergency service, First Choice Restoration will be on site for any disaster within the hour. With the best restoration experts for water damage, you can trust us as your premier restoration partner. Never the call you want to make, always the first choice you should take. First Choice Restoration.
Watch tonight at 9 on ABC and Camp KView, sponsored locally by Prosser Memorial Health, providing compassionate, high-quality care for over 75 years.
Next live, Whitney Cummings.
The wide shoulder look, it's quite slimming.
And coming March 13th, Live returns to the Oscar stage for Live's After Oscar show.
Today at 9 on Camp KView.
An injured dog found by West Richland police is looking for a shelter to take him in. Last week we told you about Cody, who was found with an injured leg. Cody underwent amputation surgery yesterday and is reportedly in good spirits. Now WRPD's Animal Compliance Officer Marissa Adamson says they're looking for a shelter to take him in and get him adopted. They're asking for any non-profit rescues or shelters to contact them at 509-967-7112. Adams says Cody is one of the toughest dogs she's met, and trust me, she's met a lot, and is looking forward to his forever home. Brianna will have your first alert weather forecast. That's coming up. And a 16-year-old girl in Maine makes national history by being the first female to win a state wrestling championship. That's next on Good Morning Northwest.
Smoke City for Less is your one-stop shop in Kennewick, Richland, Pasco, Hermiston, and West Richland. Every location is conveniently located and gives you the lowest prices and largest selection of vape mods, the best batteries, tobacco products, kratom, and specialty products too. We have something for everyone, including gift cards for any occasion. Check out the specials and deals today. Open 7 days a week in 5 locations: Kennewick, Richland, Pasco, Hermiston, and West Richland. Smoke City for Less. We smoke the competition.
Pure Filtration Products is your Inland Northwest indoor air quality specialist. With a 12,000 square foot warehouse of filters, you are sure to find what you need for your commercial, industrial, or manufacturing needs.
I recommend working with PFP because they have the product that I need.
PFP's high quality products can assist in eliminating airborne contaminants. PFP can size UV light to your system to disinfect the air to keep it clean and safe.
I recommend PFP because of their service, the quality of their product, and I'll keep coming back.
Call or come in and talk to one of our certified air filtration specialists.
Thanks to Les Schwab Tires, I'm a confident backseat driver, but Mom's a little stressed about spending. Remember, deep breaths and watch your speed. Even though we're watching our wallets, Les Schwab is still watching out for our safety. So turn here.
During the Les Schwab Founders Celebration Sale, save up to $150 instantly on select sets of 4 tires. Les Schwab Tires, doing the right thing since 1952.
What are the biggest operational challenges on your farm? Data management and displays? Navigating the John Deere Operations Center? Equipment setup and in-field adjustments? If you have precision agriculture questions, we have the Precision Ag Answers. Join RDO Equipment Company's team of experts for Precision Ag Answers, a collection of videos covering John Deere precision ag technology. Everything from quick tips to basic how-tos and in-depth tutorials.
Special report.
Spectrum just launched Spectrum One, where Spectrum Internet, advanced Wi-Fi, and unlimited mobile come together to keep you seamlessly connected wherever you are!
Switch to Spectrum One and get 300 megabit internet for $49.99 a month, plus free advanced Wi-Fi and 1 free line of unlimited mobile with no contract. Call 1-833-743-4999.
The Coopers here just got Spectrum One. Why did you switch?
With Spectrum One, we get a super fast, reliable connection. Look, with Spectrum Internet, I can stream Spectrum News across all our devices.
And the advanced Wi-Fi has enhanced security and privacy features that automatically block online threats, keeping our family and devices safe and secure.
How reliable is Spectrum Mobile?
It's a super reliable service coast to coast.
And it includes nationwide 5G.
Switch to Spectrum One and get 300 megabit internet for $49.99 a month, plus free advanced Wi-Fi and 1 free line of unlimited mobile with talk, text, and data. Call 1-833-743-4999 or visit a Spectrum store today.
Portion of Cap KVU sponsored by Lord's Health and Trios Health, making communities healthier. Now, Cap KVU First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Brianna Berman-Solo.
Here's a look right now from the Legend Skycam Network camera in Richland. You can see it's a very frosty look. The snow came to an end early yesterday afternoon, and it has stuck around on rooftops, out on lawns. A very cold morning, and you may see ice out on any untreated sidewalks, side roads, driveways. Slick conditions for the morning hours. We only get up to around 30 degrees or even the 20s today for our high temperatures. So below freezing not only this morning but all day long. Winter has made a huge comeback as we make our way through February. The month so far has been mild as far as temperatures go. We have had big storm events, but this is one of the colder days of the month so far and mostly cloudy skies before sunshine returns briefly this afternoon. More sunshine expected for tomorrow. So single digits, teens, our morning temperature map without factoring in the wind. We're currently sitting in temperatures that are reading 18 degrees right now in the Tri-Cities, 17 degrees in Walla Walla, 16 degrees in Pendleton, and 16 degrees in Yakima. Single digits right now in Cle Elum. This is all just a way to say that it is much colder than what we're used to, and spotty snow activity will remain mainly confined to the mountains today. It should be cold but dry across the mid-Columbia. 1 o'clock, a few spotty snowflakes, spotty snow bands or pockets of snow over the Yakima Valley. Greater chance of seeing accumulations from Walla Walla to Pendleton as the foothills of the Blues receive another round of half an inch of snow in the lower elevations, up to 3 inches over the Blues as you get into the higher elevations, and it looks like we remain dry to the west and we remain sunny by tomorrow morning. Today, we start off with a lot of cloud coverage. That cloud coverage will part throughout the day, especially the farther west we go. So 23 degrees in Yakima with some sunshine by the afternoon hours. Even with sunshine coming out, it is still very cold today. Only 21 degrees for our high in Moses Lake, 28 degrees in Tri-Cities and Walla Walla, and Pendleton, a high of 26 degrees today. Looking ahead to the weekend, cold, cold, cold until Saturday night. And even Saturday night is still going to be cold, but not like the teens and single digits we see for Friday and Saturday mornings. Then we'll get close to 50 degrees once again Sunday as spring-like temperatures return and stick around through the middle of next week. In Yakima, 20s for your highs today, down to 11 degrees tonight. Cold tomorrow morning. We'll see mild temperatures returning by the finish of the weekend. 40s with sunshine to start off next week. Riley, I'll send it back over to you.
Thank you, Brianna. A high school junior in Maine has made history doing what no other female athlete has ever done. She won a state wrestling championship. Jim Keithley introduces us to 16-year-old Maddie Ripley.
And here she is on Saturday, all 106 pounds of her, getting down on the wrestling mat. A junior at Oceanside High School in Rockland, Maddie is the only girl on the wrestling team. Maddie has become the first girl in Maine to win an individual state title while wrestling a boy, and she did it all in 1 minute and 44 seconds as she pinned Nick Allen of Wells during Saturday's finals at the Class B Championships. How did she do it?
I put his arm over his head and then put him on his back like a chicken wing. It's like where you have an arm like this, and I just walked around the head.
How exhilarating that win must have been as she jumped in the arms of her coach to celebrate.
Felt really good. Didn't feel real. I was like just blown away.
Her coach, Jason Yates, just so happens to be her stepdad, too.
Felt amazing, you know, and it's more than just that moment. It's the years of hard work that went into that. It feels special anytime one of your athletes achieves something like that, but when it's your own kid, it feels 100 times better.
That anyone can do it if you put the work in. And I mean, I started young. I didn't miss a practice. You just gotta dedicate yourself.
Cheering her on every step of the way, her twin brother, Gavin, who's also a wrestler, and her training partner. And Gavin won a state title too on Saturday in his weight class.
I think she's a little more competitive than me. I think that's one thing she has over me. She never likes to lose.
And let's not forget about Mom. She's the one behind the cell phone, capturing the moment on video for the world to see.
Well, congratulations, Maddie. She says she wants to keep wrestling and hopes to become a nurse someday. We'll be right back with the morning sprint and a final check on your forecast. But first, a look ahead on Good Morning Northwest, or Good Morning America.
In this morning's GMA First Look, olive oil in your coffee?
What we're really talking about is adding something that has like a health benefit and was not naturally occurring in whatever that food or beverage is.
Starbucks launching a new line of fortified drinks with a spoonful of olive oil to sneak in some extra nutrients into your morning cup.
It's possible that the thinking is when you add in olive oil to coffee, which is something that people drink every single morning in this country, right? Like masses of people consume it, that's one way to actually get that polyphenol into people's pattern of eating and drinking.
I'm telling you, you have to try an olive oil latte.
And coming up at 7 a.m., the health benefits that you could be missing out on as we see this fortified drink brewed up close. With your GMA First Look, I'm Stephanie Ramos, ABC News, New York.
Ready to feel what it's like when you can do more with less asthma? It's possible with Dupixent. Dupixent is not for sudden breathing problems. It's an add-on treatment for specific types of moderate to severe asthma and can help improve lung function for better breathing in as little as 2 weeks. Dupixent helps prevent asthma attacks and can even reduce or eliminate oral steroids. Are you in? Dupixent can cause allergic reactions that can be severe. Get help right away if you have rash, chest pain, worsening shortness of breath, tingling, or numbness in your limbs. Tell your doctor about new or worsening joint aches and pain or a parasitic infection. Don't change or stop asthma medicines, including steroids, without talking to your doctor. Who knows what you can do when you do more with less asthma? Ask your asthma specialist about Dupixent.
Now, the morning sprint.
The time right now is 6:53. We're going to get to Brianna's local forecast in a moment, but first a look at this morning's top stories. No one was hurt in an early Wednesday morning shooting that brought several law enforcement agencies, including the SWAT team, to a Kennewick home. Authorities were called to North Underwood Street, right next to the Zintel Creek Golf Clubhouse, just after 6 a.m. Police say someone called to say their friend had a gun and had fired it, but everyone was out of the home safely. Emergency responders from Kennewick, Benton County, Richland, Pasco, Franklin County, and the regional SWAT team also set up at the scene. The roads around the home were blocked for a few hours until the man was arrested.
Yeah, that was because of the fact that we activated the Tri-City Regional SWAT team. So anytime we do a full team activation, we get commanders from each of the representative police agencies, and then the members of the SWAT team themselves also come from those different agencies.
The man was booked on unlawful discharge of a weapon and unlawful possession of a weapon. And an apparent swatting prank led to at least 2 schools in Hermiston, Oregon being placed on lockdown. It happened around noon Tuesday. A shots fired phone call sent authorities to Hermiston High School and sent the school into lockdown, and also locked down West Park Elementary close by. According to Kennewick police, who responded to their own coordinated active shooter hoax at Southridge High School several months ago, there have been online viral trends like this that have brought students and other people serious consequences.
That happened at numerous locations throughout the country. I wish I knew why people did things they did. Last school year, the trend was that kids were destroying the bathrooms at their public high schools. And why stuff like that goes viral, I just don't understand why people think, hey, this is a good idea, this will be funny.
These were cases of swatting, which is a prank phone call meant to summon a large law enforcement response. In December, schools around Montana and Washington State, including Southridge High School, experienced swatting calls, and several schools received swatting calls Tuesday, according to authorities. And authorities in Orange County, Florida, arrested and charged 19-year-old Keith Moses in connection with a fatal shooting spree Wednesday. The Orange County Sheriff's Department says deputies responded to an incident where a woman was shot and killed, allegedly by Moses. Nearly 5 hours later, authorities say Moses fired at an Orlando news crew reporting on the earlier shooting incident. One of the victims, a television reporter from Spectrum News 13, died. The Orange County Sheriff's Department says Moses then entered another house and shot a woman and her 9-year-old daughter. The daughter died and the mother is in critical condition as of Wednesday night.
And here's a look at weather this morning. We're seeing very cold temperatures. We're feeling very cold temperatures. Our wind chills have been in the teens and 20s. Make sure you grab a warm jacket as you head out the door. The sweaters, the layers, we need them today. Winter is not over yet. We saw that yesterday, the proof from the snow that fell. We should be drier today, but you'll still need the warm hat, the gloves. You can keep the umbrellas at home today. We don't get up above freezing, so we should be seeing a few flurries this morning, otherwise drying out, mostly cloudy across much of the mid-Columbia. Walla Walla, Pendleton have a chance of about a ½ an inch of snow later tonight. Tri-Cities and Yakima should be staying mostly dry through the evening hours, and a few sun breaks are expected today, if not more of that sunshine for tomorrow. Warming things up by the end of the weekend, but we're still very cold both tonight and tomorrow night, so that means Friday and Saturday mornings you'll need to dress similar way that we do today, where we are preparing for very cold, below freezing temperatures. That will be the case for the next 48 hours in Yakima. We won't get up above freezing. Any ice that's outside in your yards or sidewalks, that will remain and through at least Saturday morning. Then spring returns Sunday, sunshine returns as well, and we'll see 40s, close to 50 degrees through the middle of next week. If you're headed up to the mountains, snow has come to an end after 2 feet of snow fell in the Cascades. Plan on winter driving conditions, but again, drying out, and we're seeing a few flurries right now in Tri-Cities. Very cold. Riley?
Thanks for waking up with us.